What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Rangers Central. And the Rangers win 4-0 over the Nashville Predators, as they should, because this team is garbage. I cannot even believe, after watching tonight's game, that I guessed that team up going into the season, because holy crap, they're terrible. And every single person that ridiculed the Tampa Bay Lightning for letting Stamkos walk and then getting Jake Gensel owes an apology to that team, because he is completely cooked. And yeah, the Rangers get it done. Jonathan Quick stood on his damn head. And dare I say it, if Igor's in net, this is probably a closer game or maybe even a loss. But nonetheless, before we jump into everything, leave a like on your way into the live stream. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, especially if you're Ranger fans. If you're listening to the audio version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your podcasting platform is, give a rating, give a review. It would go a long way, and I would appreciate it. So yeah, the thing that I'll start with, if this was Jonathan Quick's last game as a Ranger, and the reason I say that is because there's not really any trade speculation with him, which does surprise me a little bit. But if this is his last game, man, what a way to go out. What a way to go out with that shutout and standing on his head. It's not like it was a cakewalk, because there were times that Nashville was actually getting quality opportunities, which is not good in its own right. But what a way for him to go out if this is it, because he is a pending UFA. And quite frankly, I think the right thing, as much as I love Jonathan Quick and I've loved what he's gave this past year and a half, exceeding all of our expectations, I think, because when they signed him, I was so sour on the signing, and a lot of Ranger fans were. There were people that did give the benefit of the doubt, of course, credit to them. But for me, I was so sour on the signing, because looking at his past 3 to 4 seasons before coming here, just looking at the baseline numbers, they were not great. And ever since, I mean, he shut me up and then more with the way that he played. I mean, he faced 10 high danger chances in that third period at 5-on-5, 12 total. To put into perspective how many big saves he had to make in this game. So credit to Jonathan Quick all the way. I mean, this game is solely on him. There were other good things about this game, like the fact that the power play was actually functional today by not having 5 forwards on it, which was, it's an incredible thing. I know, right? And then Mika Zibanejad too played a solid game. Artemi Panarin, he hasn't shown up in a while. He played a good game tonight, which again, show me consistency, because you're doing it against the Nashville Predators. So show me consistency before I start giving you credit here. But both of them played really good games tonight, which did help. Brett Berard cannot even believe they looked that kid in the eyes and said, yeah, you're going back down the Hartford, buddy. The dynamic that he brings to this lineup with the speed that he has and just everything he brings to the table. I mean, he's not afraid to shoot the puck. He's not afraid to get in on the forecheck. He's a great back checker too, because of that speed. Like, he was all over the ice. At one point, he's back checking on a play, bringing it up, and all of a sudden you look and he's on the other end of the ice trying to get a wraparound goal. He reminds me so much, and this was the comp a lot of us made as he was coming up through the system. He reminds me so much of Zuccarello in ways. He really does. So I don't understand how he was sent down. I don't understand how he got sheltered minutes either tonight, because he deserves to be playing a lot of minutes for this team. He does, and especially when the season is a lost cause, give the kid a chance. He had 5 shots on goal in under 11 minutes of ice time, 3 hits, couple block shots too. Not that I love block shots as a stat, because I think that shows more that, you're defending too much when you're on the ice. But, he's had the 5 shots to go along with it and scored the goal. He should have got way more ice time tonight. I think he was the best player for the team tonight. He, outside Jonathan Quick, he was all over the damn ice. I want Brett Berard to get more ice time down the stretch, because there's no reason not to, with, again, where this season is at. Yeah, that Artemi Panarin goal, like I said, he played well tonight. Shot the puck there. Good play by Lafreniere. DeHaan even made a nice little play there, to stop the entry at the blue line, get it to Lafreniere, and then Lafreniere, of course, with that feed to Panarin, snipe that one. Panarin had that beautiful feed on the JT Miller power play goal. Keandre Miller had that beautiful backhanded goal. And then Sam Carrick, beautiful work on the boards with that fourth goal to get Brett Berard, or to find Brett Berard, rather, to score that goal. That's really all your breakdown is with the goals, honestly. There's really nothing more to say there. But just to go back to the Jonathan Quick thing, it's unfortunate that you probably got to look in another direction here because he's getting up there in age and it's time to let Garand get some games, unfortunately. Not unfortunately for Garand. I mean, I just mean unfortunately because it's sad to see that, they might have to let go of Jonathan Quick. And for every team that he plays a game with, he might win a Stanley Cup, but the New York Rangers. So, depending on where he goes, of course. But yeah, he played unbelievable tonight. And we'll see. And I know he has actually a modified no trade clause, not a full no move. So it's very different. Very different scenario. And I'm not saying he's going to waive, but you have to have the conversation with him and say, all right, well, we understand that you're on the back end of your career. We're open to whatever you want to do. If you want to stay here, we'll let you stay here. But if you want to be moved to a contender, we will honor that request and we will move you to a contender to let you get one more shot at winning Stanley Cup. And I don't know, I would be shocked if he didn't want to go out trying to win one more Stanley Cup. But maybe at the same time, he feels, I have 3 cups, so let me just finish it out with my childhood team. So who knows? But at the end of the day, I mean, if this was Jonathan Quick's last game, he went out with a banger of a game. In terms of the things that I didn't like, because I have to point those things out, that third period was a disaster and way too close for comfort, with not in terms of the score blowing it, but again, like I mentioned before, they allowed 10 high danger chances in that period. And I was not impressed with Calvin DeHaan's Rangers debut. I know he got the assist there, but he was brutal to watch at points. There was way too many times he was caught pinching. There was way too many times he was caught puck watching. The one thing I will say, at least he's playing in a role that makes sense for him, because this is the same crap we saw with Ryan Lindgren, but he got 20 minutes a night because he's Adam Fox's best friend. At least Calvin DeHaan is playing in a role that is suited for him. So after tonight, I am more than okay with them flipping him at the trade deadline, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I would be more than okay with that if they wanted to go that direction. In terms of another point that happened in this game that I didn't like, Matt Rempe, who I don't know if the Department of Player Safety is going to get involved with that hit there that he threw in the first period. I thought he should have got 5 there. I thought the elbow got, who was it, Blankenberg, a little bit. But at the end of the day, it wasn't too big of an impact on that hit to where they probably didn't rule it 5 because of that. But he definitely got the elbow high, and he's probably going to get a hearing for that one. He's probably going to get a hearing for that, but we'll see. That was just another moment that I thought was noteworthy from tonight's game. Sorry, just looking at something on Twitter. But yeah, like I said, I think it's time to get Berard and Offman bigger roles down the stretch. I like to see them get some power play time, and I get it that they're still trying to make the playoffs right now, but if things go south here, I would still like to see them just get more ice time because they deserve it. Well, let me get to the chat now. Leave a like I mentioned, if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. If you're listening to the audio version, give a rating, give a review. I would appreciate all of that. Thank you for the $2, Zach Jones Masterclass. Do we start drinking the Zibanejad Kool-Aid again? Thank you for the $2. No, because I know that he's been playing better lately, but it's never been. I want to remind everyone before we start getting lost in the fact that, and again, he is playing better. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I want to remind everyone with caution before we start to jump back onto the Mika bandwagon, if you will. Just remember, the problem was always him against top end competition. I mean, even if, because I saw the stat that he has like some of like 20th most points in the NHL since New Year's. That's great, but do we remember what happened in that Colorado game where he was severely outclassed? Do we remember what happened in the Carolina game where he was severely outclassed? Do we remember even in the Pittsburgh game that they lost? So I just want to remind everyone that proceed with caution here. The question has always been, are you good? Is he good enough against the top competition? Now that he's not playing center, at least you can maybe say there's a little more room there for, you know, to not be as harsh, I guess you could say. But the other problem is, again, playoff time has always been the issue, or at least the past 2 years, especially because I know the points in that 2021-22 playoff run look good, but again, once they got to Tampa, he wasn't really as impactful in the playoffs as he was. But then you look at the New Jersey series, and again, not great. Last year, a little noticeable against Washington, and then after that, you didn't really notice him that much, especially as it got deeper in that Carolina series, and Carolina was starting to make a little bit of a comeback. So proceed with caution is how I would say that one. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid personally. You're open to if you want to. But to me, I still, if anything, if this is boosting his trade value and he's willing to waive, I'm still moving him this offseason. I think that you still have to get a guy that fits better for this team and what they're trying to change with this team. And yeah, it's almost like Chris Kreider is not good anymore. Sorry, but he's washed right now. That's another thing I didn't talk about. Riley Smith, who was held out of the lineup because of trade-related reasons, and Chad Ruedel, weird day going on with him where who the hell knows if he's going to be playing or not for Hartford because he was scratched today. But in terms of where I think Riley Smith will go, somewhere out west, or I could see Florida adding him to the middle six. If Florida wants a goalie, I mean, Jonathan Quick and Smith could make sense in a package deal. I've been saying that a lot. I think Vegas would make sense as a reunion there as well. I think Edmonton would make some sense for Riley Smith. So there are a couple of destinations there. I don't know about the Stars. I think the Stars are kind of okay in their middle six. I think they need more fourth line help, and I know that he played fourth line minutes, but still. Um, let's see. Tampa Bay would make sense too. Yeah, I could see Tampa Bay. No, especially after seeing McCarron today. I know he had that one scoring chance. That's not moving me. That's not moving me. I'm sorry, that's not. I think that I think they could do a lot better there. I do. After watching tonight's game, I want more guys like Berard, man. I want more guys that play with speed, and throw the bod. That's what you freaking need right now in today's NHL. You need guys that are like that. And again, that's what I want them to look into. And I hope the front office is noticing that. Are they? Probably not, considering they sent this guy back down, but either way, that's my opinion. Berard reminds me a lot of Marchand without the Marchand antics. That's not a bad shot either. I think he's got a little more speed than Marchand, but he's got a little bit less skill than Marchand there. Berard's shot out of a cannon, feet never stop moving. Will shoot the puck from anywhere and hustles on the back check. Yeah. He's quickly becoming he's going to be a fan favorite. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite players. Like very, very quickly. I could tell you that I might get close to a jersey purchase. I'm not going to lie. Would I like the Rangers to get picks or prospects? Preferably both, but mostly picks because I think picks have more value to this team because one, they need to actually stockpile the farm system a little bit with again, I know jury drafting's not been the greatest, but to say the least. But I think they need to stockpile the farm system, or if not, they need more ammo to make trades in the future to get better. So I think they need to, in my opinion personally, I think they need to try to get picks more, but you try to get both, obviously, ideally. Yeah, I hope he doesn't change the jersey number. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's more of an AHL number, but I like 65. I like 65 for him. Do the Rangers try to pick up any players at the deadline? Yes, and it's only going to be players with term or guys that are being dumped in trades, like they got with Dahan. Yeah, only the Rangers can make a 4-0 game, especially against Nashville. Feel like a nail biter. Yeah, I agree with this. Yeah, I mean Smith could be gone tomorrow, or it could be a Friday thing. As someone that makes content, I am selfishly hoping that it's not done until Friday, the trade, but it's probably going to happen sooner, to be honest. But again, selfishly, I would like them to wait until Friday. Dawn looked like a fish out of water. Yeah, I didn't like his game. I don't know because I just got tagged in the chart, the hockey stat card, and was told, "See, he played good um tonight. Meanwhile, his individual defense was negative tonight. Yeah, his on ice defense was above average because the team didn't allow any goals tonight. That's how that works. Analytics, people. Analytics. With all the cap space, do they make a splash? No, I think if anything, they should weaponize it to be a third party team and acquire more draft picks. Would I like to see the Rangers sign Gavrikov in the offseason? I had this discussion with Matt yesterday in the Seth Jones live stream. I'm 50-50 on that, man. I'm 50-50 because I like Gavrikov, but I'm also wondering how much he's a product of the system that he's playing in. Yes. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you, Mike. Will you get a decent haul for Quick after tonight? I don't know realistically what they could get for Quick. I have no clue. I mean, the goalie market's hard to gauge always. Yeah, I'm ready for baseball season. I've been ready for baseball season. I'm at the point where that's part of why selfishly I really I don't care. This is going to sound stupid, but I don't care if this team makes the playoffs or not because I don't expect them to go far if they do. And if they do, sure, more content for me. If they don't, I'm not going to lose sleep because I could watch the Mets then. And at the end of the day, they probably wouldn't go far anyway. So I don't understand why Edmonton's sticking with what they have in net. I really don't understand that. But they're lost. What should they do with Keandre? I don't know. I would be okay if they moved him, but I understand that's not a deal you rush though. Like if you move him, it's not a deal that you rush. Because you could get a pretty solid return. The return that Nick has compared it to for what he could get is the Jacob Chikrin trade from when he went to Ottawa from Arizona, where it was a first and 2 seconds. If you get something similar with maybe a young roster player instead of one of those seconds, you got to consider that. You have to consider that. If Quick is dealt to a contending team, he makes their chances of winning the cup go up by 15%. Yeah, by the aura alone. Uh, Byron for Miller 1-for-1. I mean, yeah, you consider that. You consider that. I was waiting for this type of comment about Fox. I was waiting for that. Jones later in time on ice. Crazy what happens when they actually give him minutes. What guys with term are realistic at the deadline? Either term or control, because I'm assuming you mean RFAs. A lot of it is the Buffalo guys, whether you're looking at Paterka, Tuck, McLeod, and in terms of a couple of other guys that, I've potentially thought about before. I'm trying to think. There was another name on another team I was thinking about Jake Wallman, that's who. Wallman from San Jose. I would really love if they could get him. So there are a couple different options out there, but those are the only guys that I think the Rangers should be buying on is getting guys that will help the team next year because you shouldn't push the chips in on pending UFAs unless you're 100% re-signing them. Like if they're getting like with Brock Besser, since he's been linked just because JT Miller's here, that's all I think why he's being linked, but nonetheless, if there's any truth to it and they get Brock Besser, there needs to be an extension. Yeah, I think both teams did well in that trade, but Kyle Davidson did good in that trade for sure for a guy that wanted out. Is salary retention for 1 year or life of that deal? Life of that deal. Life of the deal. So, like Chicago right now, who just retained on Seth Jones, they are going to be retaining on him for a very long time. I didn't notice that. I'm not there though. Not there. Same with Trent Frederick. Yeah, I mean, the thing though with Trent Frederick is, I'm not gonna lie to you. If they're looking to go in the direction of that type of player, me personally, I say fuck it and just throw the bag then at Sam Bennett at that point. It's a risky contract, but at this point, this team's full of them. So, and it's like if you're gonna go for that type of center, I'd rather get the top dog. I'd rather get the hot commodity. I'd rather just go in and get Sam Bennett at that point. Am I crazy for that one? You guys let me know though. Give him the same deal um that Mika is on. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to move Mika though at that point. They would have to move Mika at that point. And if they did that, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. I don't think Sam Bennett's gonna get that much though. I think he's gonna get 7.5. If I had to make a prediction right now, I think he gets 7.5. That's why I said they'd have to move Mika to get Bennett, or they'd have to move Kreider. Yeah, but with the cap going up, guys like that are gonna get more money, Julian. Yeah, he probably will be dealt. I don't see why he wouldn't at this point, Nick, because Chicago's got a plethora of goalies. Maybe an off-season move if not. But I could also see a team wanting him now to, you know, have another goalie on their roster for next year. I don't know. The only thing holding me back from wanting the Rangers to pursue Bennett, though, is because of how good the free agent market is after this next upcoming season. And I'm willing to play the waiting game for them to get a Jack Eichel, or them to get or pursue at the very least an Eichel or McDavid if those guys hit the market. Of course, I want to make that clear. If they hit the market, if they hit the market. Oh, I would have a field day too if they get rid of Kreider. Yeah, 100%. He's done, man. His body's cooked, and that's the problem, though. It's like I don't know how you get rid of him right now. I just don't know how you get rid of him. without an asset going with him or retaining some salary there. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up my live stream here. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live, and I'll see you in the next one.